Upon arrival, the police find 4 other half-dead victims tied to chairs and bandages on their wrists. Good morning, beautiful people. Okay. So, I have decided to change the times that I upload. I'm still uploading Wednesdays and Fridays and Saturdays. I know I haven't uploaded a Saturday yet. It's because I'm adjusting to this new editing. This new editing does take longer. I'm hoping to have a video up this Saturday, as in tomorrow. I'm hoping. Sorry, I'm a little scatterbrained. Like this week's been a lot, you guys. We're sticking with our new normal routine. It's just this week has been a lot. Like we got my cafe got robbed on Tuesday, and then someone attempted to break in again on Wednesday, and it's been a lot. And if you followed the previous videos where we discovered we were haunted, we had to have another conversation with Harlem that I didn't film because it was very last second. Harlem was upset because we stopped talking to him. We all had a lot of like really personal stuff going on. So we kind of went MIA in the sense that we weren't really talking to Harlem. Harlem got upset, and another spirit that is there got protective of Harlem and growled at us. So we had to have a conversation. Because when you're in pitch black, coming in at 6 o'clock in the morning and something growls at you, it's terrifying. It's freaking terrifying. But that is not why we are here. We are here today to do a makeup look and talk about, drumroll please, the Carter brothers, aka the Vampire Brothers. So, we actually have a few new products that we're using. Okay, so as you can see, my base is done. We do have a few new products that we've been using. We have, from Influenster, I have these 2 new Revlon products. This is the Rose Glow Face Gloss. It's supposed to luminize and hydrate. It's supposed to be 80% water. It's a primer, or you can wear it on its own for like a nice glossy finish. It's very pretty. It does come out like a pinky color. Can you see? Yeah, right there. But once you, it gives a nice sheen to your skin. Like you see it right there. Like it's a nice little sheen. And then the foundation that I'm wearing, I've actually started really liking it. It's been a while since I've liked a drugstore foundation, but this is the Revlon Colorstay Light Cover Foundation with a natural finish. It lasts for 12 hours. I use the shade Creme Brulee, and I've been using it on top of this primer so that it gives me, it's like a natural dewy finish. See that? Like it's very pretty. It is very pretty. The coverage, I know it says light coverage, but it's more like light to medium coverage. It's very buildable. Like, anyway, so I just wanted to update you that that has been what I've been using on my face lately. And lately, I mean like the last week. I just haven't filmed with it yet. So today I have my brother's going away part 2 lunch. He came home for the holidays from Defiance College in Ohio, and he is leaving next week. So I'm gonna go grab lunch with him. And I'm gonna be wearing, like, I felt like wearing my new Savage bralette. So I was like, you know what? Let me wear this cute little shirt where my bralette kind of shows through, but not too much. And then I wanted to wear a, like, I have this really cute black, it's pretty cold here right now. So, but I have this pretty cute, like, black teddy long sweater that's hooded, and the inside is camo, and I want to wear black jeans. So I'm like, oh, I can wear my camo boots. So we're going to be playing in the Hip Dot C-Note palette. Yeah. Because we're going to do a little bit of green, maybe some blue. We're going to go with some earthy tones today. But, yeah, that's why we're here. Okay. So, we're going to try some Elizabeth Mott Thank Me Later eye primer. We're just going to put some of that on our finger. Sorry, so in the midst of telling this story, I'm also dealing with the fact that my camera system at work is going cuckoo crazy. I'm trying to set like alarms and stuff for movement, and for some strange reason it keeps reverting back to always on. So it is, y'all have no idea how freaking frustrating it is. But okay, so the Carter brothers. The Carter brothers are also known as the Vampire Brothers. They were here. This story takes place in the 1930s. And we are going to be talking about John and Wayne Carter. So John and Wayne Carter owned an apartment on Royal Street. We're gonna take a JH32 and we're gonna go into this shade right here. It's pigmented. I wasn't expecting that. They owned an apartment on Royal Street, and they really weren't like an issue until one day a young girl, approximately the age of 11, showed up at the police station and claimed that John and Wayne had been keeping her hostage in their apartment. Also made claims that the brothers had kept her captive in this apartment for a few days, and they were drinking her blood. Now the police were like, the police were kind of like the way I am right now, like, huh? So they asked her if she could escort them back to the apartment in which she was being held captive. So, and keep in mind, the girl's like 11. So she does escort them back to the property, and now, keep in mind, police are skeptical. Like, you mean to tell me someone's held you captive for a few days and they're drinking your blood? So, the apartment, which is the young girl leads the police back to the apartment, which is located on Royal and St. Anne. Upon arrival, the police find 4 other half-dead victims tied to chairs and bandages on their wrists. Now, when the little girl had arrived at the police station, she also had bandages on her wrist. Now, all the bandages were stained with blood, but you can tell it wasn't old blood, like it was fresh. And obviously, they had been, they weren't well taken care of, but obviously they were being kept alive for a reason. Police dig further into the apartment and find 2 dead bodies in a separate room. Upon entry in this room, the smell of death permeated the apartment. Nice, right? How did no neighbors catch this? So they get all these people unbandaged, they get the stories, and the story is as follows. Every morning, John and Wayne Carter would leave the apartment before sunrise. They would return after sunset. See where the vampire part's kicking in? they're getting this story, and like everyone's story is pretty much the same thing. The brothers would leave before sunrise and return after sunset. And then upon their return, they would use a knife, cut the wounds back open, drain their blood into a cup, and then drink it. And then they would take the time to re-bandage the wounds. I mean, at least they bandaged them, right? Now when the little girl escaped, she had escaped after the brothers had disappeared for the morning. Because at this point, you gotta keep in mind, it's daylight right now. So, the brothers had no idea the little girl had escaped. And the police knew this because it's daylight. So the brothers haven't returned yet. It's still the same day that the little girl showed up at the police department, station, whatever. And told them that she was being held captive and blood was being drank from her body. So crazy, right? So the police set up a plan, and they were going to So the police set up a plan. We're going to use a JS10 to go ahead and stay in the apartment until the brothers returned at sunset or after sunset. Because, again, brothers have no idea that this little girl had escaped and basically told their master plan to police. So, police are there. They're waiting on the brothers to return. Once the brothers return to get their daily blood supply, the police catch them. Now, this is a relatively short story, guys. So, that's kind of why I'm taking that's kind of why, like, I'm doing a relatively simple look here. Anyway, so the police catch them. And, I mean, as with anyone, the police are kind of like, so, why'd you do it? And the brothers confess to everything. They admit that they have been kidnapping people and drinking their blood. And, like, they're just, yeah, we did it. Like, they're not denying it. Now, here's where the plot twist comes into play. They're caught. Like, there's no denying the fact that you've done this. They're not denying the fact that they've done this. And after, like, they've told the cops everything, you take a JH39 and a JH40. 3940. So, JH39, this shade. So, like, they've been caught. The Carter brothers have been caught. They've told their story. They own up to everything. Like, they're not JH40. They're not trying to hide the fact that they did it. In fact, plot twist, they turn around and they say, please kill us. Because if we get loose again, we will do this again. We cannot control our urges. So the brothers legitimately believe that they're vampires. Like, they legitimately believe they need the blood to survive. They legitimately believe they cannot control these urges. And now they are begging to be executed. Now we're going to take a JH43. Go into this shade. So they go to trial and all that goodness. And tell the same story. Like, they can't control their urges. It's not their fault. They're vampires. And they can't help it. Like, it's not their fault. And they say all of this during their trial. Like, their story never changes throughout the entire time. Like, they cannot survive without blood. If they are released, They will continue to do this. Now, keep in mind, all of this is well before Anne Rice comes into the picture in 1976. Like, before all of the, before Anne Rice writes, like, Lestat and Interview with the Vampire and Queen of the Damned, before all of those books come out, we're in the 1930s right now. I'm done with the eye look, by the way. I'm just going to throw in some mascara, finish my face, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we are back. All right, so the Carter brothers have gone to trial, and they are found guilty. Like, they told everyone at the trial the same thing they told the police. They cannot help it. This is how they are. They need blood to survive. They're vampires, and if you release them, they're gonna do it again. So they're found guilty. They got a fair trial, and because of, like, I guess because of their openness and willingness to cooperate, they got their wish. They're executed. So I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of like why I like to do research before I come on here and say anything. Okay, so it claims the address is 622 St. Anne Street. Everything I have read says the apartment was on Royal Street itself. So, okay. Now, this is why I want to take a haunted history tour. So, this person got most of their information from a haunted history tour. Shocking, right? Like, it even says take the haunted history tour. Similar story, 1930s. And okay, so let's backtrack. Okay, so, and this is why I like to do research before I come on and start filming, because stories change. I went through numerous reputable sources. I didn't just depend on Wikipedia. But I will say this one says it is a legend. Okay? So keep that in mind. Similar, the story is very similar. Early 1930s, seemed to be living a normal life in New Orleans. Early one morning, and they have an exact date. I just have early 1930s. And now this exact date might be correct. I don't know. This particular site does direct you to the haunted history tours. And this is why I want to take a haunted history tour, because this story is relatively different from my story. A girl is walking down the street covered in blood. Authorities rush to the girl. First difference right here. And it says she's walking down St. Anne Street. She runs up Royal Street. Okay. Authorities rush to the girl. She goes to the police station. They take the girl to a hospital. Police ask her to take them to the apartment she came from. The stories are the same. They would leave at night, come in the morning, or leave in the morning, come at night, cut their wrists, feed from them. Police broke in, nobody was home. They did find more bodies. Here's the difference. We found 2 dead bodies. They found 15. Scattered across the room. Many were dead. Only 4 survived. So we do have little things. Police decide to set up 10 of their largest officers throughout the house. Once the brothers arrived, okay, so I don't have an image of the brothers, but this claims they were 6 foot top or 5'6" tops, weighing less than 160 pounds. How you got that particular information when I couldn't even find that information is shocking. the brothers overtook the police, jumped off the floor of the balcony, and then ran like lightning. Brothers were not smart, decided to go to work the next day. Police arrived at work, arrested them, and hung them in the square. So, you see the differences? My story, they beg to be executed because they don't want to keep doing this. Their story, which comes from haunted history tours, very different. And I can kind of see why haunted history tours and what would go through, or why, like, because there's numerous companies that do haunted history tours. Like, there's actually a company called Haunted History Tours. But I don't know if that's the particular tour this person went on. But as you can see, the story might have been beefed up just... Okay, it was beefed up quite a bit. In regards to the story itself, because you're gonna get more people being like, hey, this tour was awesome. I heard about the Carter brothers. They did this. You should take this tour. And I have heard rumors that the history tours do exaggerate and don't tell the truth. Which is another reason I want to take one, because I want to compare my notes to what they're saying. I want to see how beefed up their stories really are. Because it's not hard to find this information, guys. It really isn't. Alright, so I wanted to keep this story relatively short and sweet. But yeah, how do we feel with the Carter brothers? I can't help but feel like maybe they influenced Anne Rice's story a little bit. I mean, they happened in the 30s. Her stories were written in the 70s. Interview with a Vampire, 2 people. I don't know. We might find out as I start digging into Anne Rice. If there are any notable murders or things that you know about besides Marie Laveau and Anne Rice, let me know down in the comments, because while I do have like a list I'm going through, you might know of a story I don't know of off the top of my head. So let me know down in the comments what you want to see, and maybe we can make that happen. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am enjoying filming it. And I'm hoping I can film a Skincare Saturday video tonight. I have a whole bunch of new skincare things I have been doing and new products I've been working with. So I have things I want to do for Skincare Saturday. I just had to find the time to do it. And this current thing takes a lot. Like this is a lot of editing, a lot of sound, it's a lot. Because as I'm filming, like I find myself repeating. So if y'all only knew the stuff I edited out, you'd be amazed. Alright guys, I will see you in my next video, which will hopefully be tomorrow. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the dark side of New Orleans haunted history. And I will see you later.